I have a card today that's in a lovely blue and white. It kind of has that Wedgwood feel about it. I love these color combinations. So I'm just going to show you a couple things you can do with some of the dies here. And we'll run you through all the products we'll be using. The floral element comes from the new Sweet William die set. Now this is kind of a scrunched flower that you can make with it. I'm going to show you what it looks like if it's just layered, so you'll get a different sort of feel to it. The rose spray corners. Now these are debossed corners and they're absolutely lovely. This is the Prism Striplet, and I'm going to show you how to extend this a little bit so you can use it on any of your projects. This is the Sumatra from the Indonesian collection. And I'm just going to be using the center section here from the Indonesian background. And the sentiment today comes from the Delightful Sentiments, which is a clear stamp set by Creative Expressions. We'll move these to the side. Now I've already done just a little bit ahead of schedule here, and I've taken the outer ring from the Sumatra and I've just die cut an aperture into the back here. Just a little bit to the top. I've left a little room for our striplet and I've added some mounting foam in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that into place over our blue Dusk card, and I've added the mounting foam all the way around the edge and then a little bit to support just where the aperture is as well. You don't want that to be sagging on you. Pop that, and I think it's easier sometimes to do it upside down like this. There we go. Okay, so now I've got that really pretty blue showing through. So I went ahead and cut the same die using all the dies, and where the little bit is right here, I took the inside cutting edge and I've just simply embossed that into place to give it a nice little extra detail. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that into place, recess it down into that aperture. So I'll give it a bit of spray glue, and just for good measure, we're going to add some extra glue around the edges. The spray glue works really well for all the little detailed areas, and anywhere you've got enough room you can put regular glue. It's always handy to do that. So I'm just going to literally follow the line straight down on that. Okay, pop that back into place. And I've done a bit of cutting with the Prism die. It's an interesting die set in that these pieces here have been made separate, so you can leave them in, you can cut them out. I'm going to do them on top to stack it a little bit, but because this was a fairly large die, it didn't quite reach enough across, so what I'm going to do is just cut it again. So we'll pop it onto our plate like this, a little bit of tape, and I'm just going to line it up next to where we stopped, add a bit of tape, and we'll continue cutting that. There we go. So I can keep the pattern going across, and I've obviously ended on a half square area there, but that's not a problem. We are going to put that on the side where our floral element is. There we go. So you can see how pretty that comes out. Now I'm going to back it with the same blue Dusk. So I'll bring in my glue again, give it a quick spray to get all those little detailed areas, and then bring in my wet glue. Just add a bit to really keep it tucked down into place. There we go. Whoops. Line that up. Get that all the way to the end there. There we go. Now I want to put my floral element on the left side, so I'll pop this down here. Just line that up with the edge. I'm going to have a little bit showing on the bottom there. That's not bad. I'll go ahead and bring this piece in. Done my usual matting and layering. I've used the blue Dusk again as a thin mat underneath my white pierced layer. There. Put that into place like that. There we go. And I want to add some corners, so I've gone ahead and cut these corners. There's a left and a right corner, and you can see there's some beautiful detail in these. They are debossed with an absolute amazing rose pattern coming out of them. So I'm going to just glue them into place, put a little bit all the way around it, get into those little leaves, give that one a second to set. The glue will get nice and tacky, and we'll get some on this one. So it's totally up to you if you want which direction you want them going. I think it's prettier on this particular card going this direction. So I'm going to pop that into the corner, just give it a second. And this one down this corner. There we go. So I've added a bit of nice detail there. So now we're going to address these diamond shapes here. So I've used the center bits on the prism to cut individuals. Now on this original one I did blue with white backing. I thought just to be a little different, I did white with blue backing for these. So I've added a little bit of mounting foam. We're going to pop these into place, and I'll just keep all the lines going straight down on these. Like that. Do this one. And the last one, I'm going to cut it. So I haven't added any mounting foam yet, so I just want to see about where I want it to be, and I'm going to nip it. And it looks like right about there. Should be exactly where I need it. Perfect. And we will just add a tiny bit of mounting foam to the back of that to raise it. Oops. And most of it won't show, but just a little bit of it will peek out of the back behind there. I'm going to go forward to my sentiment. Now I've stamped the mini thanks, which is from the clear stamp set. I want to cover it with a piece of sticky adhesive sheet. Now these are great for little leftover bits if you keep a pile of them. They're not very large, but they're perfect for covering your sentiments over. I'm going to put that into place and peel the backing off. There we go, exposing the adhesive. And now I've got the blue piece, and I've used the inside of the background, the Indonesian background, to create that frame. I'm going to put that into place before I glitter with that sticky. So just get that down there nice and even. There we go. And bring in a little bit of copy paper underneath there. Add a tiny bit of our diamond snow in the center here. Should be able to burnish that around. There we go, we won't waste much. And you can just trim this with your scissors around the edge. I find it's easiest to do this. Just go a little bit of an angle right around the edge of that. You won't even get a cut edge showing. You can just tip it a little bit and reach under it. Just make sure you go slow so you don't cut into your frame. There you go, perfect. Add a bit of mounting foam to the back of that piece. Scissors. There we go. And we can pop that right into the middle of our focal element there. And now we're going to just add a little bit of a bow to the bottom. I've tied this out of some seam binding, just what I call a messy bow. It just goes wherever it wants to. I'm just going to put that over this corner. So you just see a tiny bit of it, but not much. And there we have our flower. Now I've just cut 2 of each of the sizes, stack them up, put a pearl in the center. I haven't even done any forming to that, so you have a completely different looking flower with it. Pop that into the middle, and you can just arrange your bow a little bit, spread the loops out. And there you go. I think that's an absolutely beautiful thank you card. I'm sure anybody would love to receive it. Well, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube video, and then when we load new videos, you'll be the first to get emails to see them. Hope you've enjoyed it.